In my last video, I talked about a stock that I recently purchased for a little under $500, and at just one share that already made up about 5% of my portfolio. Today, we will be going over what that stock is. It is called Equinix. It is an international data storage company, and we'll be going over some of the fundamental core of the business. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out a growing channel like mine. And I'm sure most of you have never heard of this stock before. It's not very well owned, at least in the YouTube community. But I don't know why, because it's done very well in the last 10 years. And let's get into it. On the bottom right corner there is actually a picture of how some of the data centers look. So a little bit about Equinix. It is headquartered in California, and basically the company connects the world's leading businesses to their customers, employees, and partners inside the most interconnected data centers. It was founded in 1998, so a little over 20 years ago now. They have 200 international business exchange IBX data centers across 52 markets in 24 different countries. So this is a stock you want to own if you want to get some more exposure in the international scene and not just in the United States. And what's good is half of the Fortune 500 companies are also customers of Equinix. So they use them for their data centers and for their storage purposes of all that data that all these companies have. So that's great to hear. And it's also been, since 2015, elected to be taxed as a REIT rather than just a regular corporation. So most of their income is being sent to shareholders, and then they get to skip out on paying corporate taxes since they are being taxed as a REIT. So Equinix is huge in the cloud computing center. As you can see in this little diagram, it kind of explains more about what cloud computing is. Basically, Equinix assists other companies deploy servers, infrastructure, storage arrays, and networking gear all over the world. It has big data centers just like this in the right-hand picture, and companies, whenever you're at your company and you're using their files or storage, that all needs to be saved somewhere. And when you're talking about huge companies such as Google and Amazon, that's not easy to store all that huge amounts of information and analytics. That all needs to be stored somewhere, and it also needs to be secured, not only physically but also virtually. There's always people trying to hack into those different types of servers and try to steal information. And Equinix is really it has the infrastructure there to protect and be a barrier for those who are trying to steal that information. It's also aiming to be 100% renewable power in the future, which is huge because if you've ever seen one of these places in person, they not only take up a lot of space, very it's also very costly just in terms of the electricity used there. And both Amazon and Google are customers. We know that Amazon and Google always trying to disrupt different types of industries. So that's good to know that they are a customer and not just trying to overtake Equinix in the future. So they recently announced their earnings just this past week, and the stock just shot straight up. If you look at the graph, I had my eye on it. I was hoping that it would kind of fluctuate downwards, but instead it just went way up, and it's unfortunately when I bought it. But I want to be in this company for the long run. As you can see, their Q1 results here. They have delivered 65 consecutive quarters of revenue growth, and yeah, definitely looks like the company is continuing to grow. I'll let you guys analyze a little bit more of the quarter over quarter results here. And here is the graph of Equinix over the last 5 years. As you can see, on May 9th, 2014, it was only worth $190 a share, and now has risen all the way up to $476. Fortunately, I bought it at near its 52-week high, but when you're in it for the long run, it doesn't really matter. Also, the company pays around a 2% dividend, which is pretty nice. Pretty low for a REIT, but also, since it's a REIT, it's very hard to examine the valuation of this company just based off its ridiculous PE ratio there of 106. It's a lot smaller of a company, only a $40 billion market cap, so not too small, but not too huge either. So definitely a lot of room for growth there. And you will get $9.84 in dividends basically every year. Equinix has also been raising its dividend each year since it started giving them out in 2015 when it switched to being classified as a REIT. As you can see, the 1 year growth rate there is 14%, and in the last 3 years, it's averaged an 11% increase in its dividend. So, definitely a stock you can hold to not only get dividends but also get some capital appreciation as well. And here is an overview of Equinix for both the past and the future. Like I mentioned before, it has over 200 data centers in 52 different major metro areas in the not only the United States but all around the world. It's located in 5 different continents. Talking New York, Hong Kong, Paris, major cities all around the world. There, they're expecting year-over-year growth of around 9%, which is not too bad. 65 straight consecutive quarters of revenue growth. And then also it has improved its credit ratings across all major agencies, including the S&P investment grade rating of a B minus, triple B minus there. And every time it builds a new pipeline, it expects to break even in cash flow within 6 to 12 months. And it already expects to be 80% utilized in just 2 to 5 years. So definitely room for growth whenever it continues to make a new data center. So here are basically some reasons why I'm very bullish on this stock. I really feel like demand for this industry and this need will continue to grow in the future. The service is really important for companies to continue to grow. They're always going to need somewhere to save their storage, and they're going to be using computers that need to retrieve the storage and as well, and they need that infrastructure there. Every company kind of basically needs this in today's world. It's also increasing its growth quarter after quarter, year after year, and its earnings are also going up as well. At a $40 billion market cap, definitely will continue to expand. It has a very nice dividend, around 2%, which I guess isn't too great, but for a company that's capital appreciation is going up this much, definitely will take that. Has very good financials, as you can see here on the balance sheet at the end of 2018. Had a debt to assets percentage of little under 56. And it's also good if you want some international exposure. A lot of my companies, they do business mostly in the United States, but also in other countries to a smaller scale. Equinix seems to be doing most of its sales and revenue is more evenly distributed between each of the different continents, which is always nice to see. Like I said, guys, this is just a very quick overview of the stock. I'm sure most of you have not heard of it before. Just wanted to put it on a lot of you guys' radars. And let me know what you guys think. I didn't really mention a lot of cons of the stock, but I'm sure there's plenty, as there is with every stock. And as always, don't forget to like, let me know what you think, and subscribe to the channel for more.